Shocking RV attack. What you need to know to stay safe.
Undoubtedly by now you've heard about Mr. and Mrs. Weaver. They were at a rest stop in Nebraska off of 80 when they were brutally attacked by a man from Ohio who wanted to steal their Jeep. So today we're going to talk to you about ways that you can keep your family safe when you're traveling on the road. Now, John and I often stop at a rest stop whenever we're traveling, like most of you do as well. Very often we'll go there if we need a little break, we want to stretch our legs, or we want to grab a quick meal in the RV. But when you're at these rest stops, you have to remember that there is a very large transient population. Now, the RV community is a wonderful community. We are a very trusting, very accepting group. We're a very friendly group. But when you're at a rest stop, you do not know who you are encountering. You are not with the RV community. No. And that is why you have to take steps to keep yourself safe. As soon as you leave your RV, make sure that you lock both locks on your door. Look, most of these criminals, they're looking for the easy target.
Right.
Locking your door is not going to prevent a break-in, but it might deter someone who may go to the next door. Not that we want them doing that either, John, right?
No, but it just, every little bit helps. And I find especially at night when you pull in really late, maybe 10, 11, 12 at night, you never know who's out there or why.
And even in the daytime, John, because that attack happened on that poor couple at 7 a.m. in the morning. So there's no guarantee on what time. And even us right here now, we're not being very aware of our surroundings because we're filming this video, and that can be dangerous. But if you see, I have my eyes shifting all over the place. Look, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, she's in New York.
I know what it's like. I know how to watch out for things. I know how not to make myself a target. And that's really important for this community. And I'm not trying to make anybody scared. Look, the last thing we want to do is any kind of fear mongering, especially at the expense of anybody else. We just want people to be prepared. That's it. That's what this is all about, being prepared. So when you're at the rest stop, a couple of tips for you. Make sure that your head's on a swivel, that you're looking around, that you know who's around you, who's near you, if anyone's following, anyone looking suspicious. If the rest area seems a bit sketchy, or if there's sketchy people, go to the next one. There's nothing wrong with waiting another 20 minutes before you stop. We can do that. It's better than the alternative.
Right.
The other thing is, you don't want to be sitting around on your phone or just kind of aimlessly walking around without paying attention to what's going on around you.
You want to maybe not answer the door whenever someone bangs on it?
That's a very good point. If somebody knocks on your door, if you're not expecting company, there's no reason to open the door.
No.
Just don't do it. I mean, if you're that curious, you can peek out the blinds if you want to, but if I'm not expecting anybody, I'm not opening the door. And if they're not announcing themselves as the police, I'm not opening the door. And even if they do announce themselves as the police, I'm not opening the door. There's nothing the police can tell me that they can't tell me through the door, and there's no reason for me to open the door unless the police tell me they have a warrant, and there's no reason for the police to have a warrant because I haven't done anything wrong.
Right. Another thing you can do is when we go to rest stops, we usually use the buddy system. A couple of us will go into the facilities together if we need to use the facilities, or if we want a snack, or if we just want to walk around. We won't just walk around by ourselves. We'll go in pairs.
One other thing about rest stops is always trust your gut. Your gut tells you a lot. Ever had that really bad feeling and you wanted to get out of somewhere? You get that? Keep going.
Now, when we get to gas stations, one thing we don't do is we don't let our gas get below a quarter of a tank. Between half a tank and a quarter, we'll go and find a gas station. Now, if we pull into that gas station and it looks a little sketchy, or basically we can't fit, we have enough fuel to go to the next gas station where it will be safer and we have more space to operate.
One of the things that we've noticed at gas stations a lot is that we see a lot of RVers who pull into gas stations, especially folks with big rigs like ours or Class C's, and they won't lock the doors. When you pull into the gas station, I don't care if it's a car, if it's a van or whatever, you have to make sure that you lock your doors. Otherwise, anyone can get in, especially in something this size. John's going to go to the pump. He's going to start pumping, and we're going to see if he notices me sneaking into the RV.
We'll see. All right, there's no way she's going to get in there on me.
Now, John doesn't think that I can sneak in here, but watch me do this. Ever so gently, put this door open. We'll see if John even notices. I'm stepping into the rig now. Take every step, very lightly, very slowly. We'll see if he notices when I walk into this RV. Look at that, folks. I'm even going to close the door behind me. Now, if he walks around, he doesn't even know I'm in the RV. Right now, you know, you could have your family in here. You could have your spouse, your pets. I could come in here. I could hide in this RV until you get on the road. And then what are you going to do?
I think I would see the RV move. I think she might be in there. Well, this isn't right.
Or,
Hey, what are you doing in my RV?
did you hear me come into the RV?
Unfortunately, no.
Could you tell I was in here?
No.
See, and this is what I was just explaining to everyone. I could have come in here, I could have taken your pets, I could have taken your belongings, I could have taken your kids, I could have taken any other family members I wanted to. And John, I could have also hidden in this RV until you got to your destination and you never would have known. And this is why it is so important to lock the doors. Hey. Now, we use spot crime when we are traveling. You can type right into spot crime the name of the gas station or where the gas station is at. So I could type in, Shell station in this city or, whatever location, and it will tell me what the crime is like. Before you go to the gas station, whoever your co-pilot is, have them do it. If you're a solo traveler, plan at the stop before where you're going to make your gas stop and look at spot crime and find out what the crime is. It's just such an easy step to make your traveling way safer. Crime apps are also good when looking for overnight boondocking spot. Recently, when driving back from Indiana, we hit some heavy traffic and also some poor road conditions due to bad weather.
Yep, snow.
And we were so very tired. And we needed to find a place to stop. So we thought, why not just stop at, the closest Cracker Barrel?
So I had my co-pilot take a look at the reviews online for that particular Cracker Barrel, and we discovered some disturbing stuff.
It was about 11 o'clock at night, and I went ahead and I checked the reviews. I just did I just Googled Cracker Barrel, Hagerstown, Maryland reviews. And in those reviews, I found some very disturbing information about that Cracker Barrel. Apparently, there was a lot of drug dealing in the area between the Cracker Barrel and the adjacent hotel. Other RVers who had parked there had a very difficult time sleeping at night because of the drug deals and the fights that were occurring after midnight in that Cracker Barrel's parking lot and the wooded area right beside it.
Yeah.
So we made a decision to drive a little bit further to another rest stop that was a bit safer because you can't tell when you're going to be in a dangerous situation. You can't tell when there's going to be somebody who has bad intentions towards others or is going to hurt someone. But what you can do is try as much as possible to avoid putting yourself into that situation. So we just drove to the next rest stop that we were familiar with and we knew the area, and we stayed there for the night and we stayed safe. Now, a very important part of keeping yourself safe is knowing how to defend yourself. RVers often travel to unfamiliar or remote locations. It's not unheard of for campgrounds, boondocking locations to be 15, 30 minutes away from a police response. So you have to know how to protect yourself until the police arrive.
I have a concealed carry, and Sherry and I are both trained in the use of firearms.
Because if you're going to have one, you have to know how to use it. And not only do you have to know how to use it, but you have to be willing to use it.
Yes, that's another thing. So training is very important when it comes to firearms. Now, there are also some non-lethal methods of protecting yourself.
So we understand that not everybody feels comfortable carrying a firearm. There are other things you can use. One thing, for example, is you could use pepper spray if you have an attacker coming in. But what I like even more than pepper spray is bear spray. It's much more potent. Now, I know that in some states it's illegal to use this on another person, but I think if someone has broken into your home, which is what your RV is,
yes,
even though it may not be considered that in some states, you should have the right to defend yourself in your property. If it's a difference between, me going down or an intruder going down, you better believe the intruder is going down. That's right.
That's right.
Now, for OPSEC reasons, we won't go into all the different things that we have to protect us in our RV, but you have lots of options. For example, some people love cameras. I know a lot of RVers in particular love the Ring camera because it will give you neighborhood notifications so that you know what's going on in the neighborhood around you wherever you're parked.
Right.
But there are tons of cameras. Some folks like to have driveway alarms that they put around their RV. Yeah. And then, of course, good lighting is always a deterrent as well. Nobody wants to be seen when they're up to nefarious activities.
No. And some people also buy those small camera systems with numerous cameras they can put inside and out.
That's very true. Yep. So there are lots of options for keeping yourself safe. Now, like I said in the beginning, this isn't to scare anyone.
No.
This is just so that you can protect yourself, do the best that you can to make yourself not be the victim. Now, we also want to say that we were deeply, deeply saddened by the attacks on Mr. and Mrs. Weaver. We really hope that Mrs. Weaver has a full recovery. We pray, we have the family in our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time since Mr. Weaver has passed away from that brutal attack. We hope that the justice system takes care of that individual. And yes. I'm not gonna give him the publicity of even saying his name, right. But I hope that they take care of that individual who committed this tragic, disgusting crime against two elderly members of our community. Folks, that's it for this video. Please share with us down in the comments below what are some of your safety tips when you're traveling. I know that we didn't cover them all. There are many more out there. Let us know how you protect yourself on the road. And if you're looking for a really great resort to go to and a great group of people to camp with, check out this video right here.
Yeah, right here. Is this thing on?